Hi there, it's Michelle Last, and I don't know about you, but I sometimes just want to give someone a little treat and make it look pretty. And so I'm showing you how you can give a bar of chocolate, a simple bar of chocolate, and make a real wow. So I'm going to be using the Simply Zinnia stamps and dies to decorate it, and I'm going to be using the Frames and Flowers 12 by 12 designer series paper to cover the chocolate bar. So let's get started. I'll just put these things to one side, and obviously I could give you measurements for the chocolate bar that I'm using today, but I appreciate not everybody is using the same chocolate bar. So I'm just going to give you a rough guide on how to make it to suit any chocolate bar. So I made sure that I was careful about making sure the orientation of my paper was correct. So it's going to be facing that way. I'm actually going to be giving it and decorating it in this orientation. So it's up to you. Would it make a difference? That's for you to decide. So you're going to get your bit of your paper, and you're going to have the pattern that you want showing face down. And you're going to lay that down, lay your chocolate bar down. And remember what I said about the chocolate bar coming up and touching one of the top edges. So get it straight. Easy with this paper because I've got a nice symmetrical pattern, and then fold it around your chocolate bar, and then give a really nice crease to those edges like this. Make sure the edges are nice and straight, straighten them up if they're not, and then flip it over and reinforce the edges of your chocolate bar. So that's it. I don't have to do any measuring. I know that that's going to work. But what I need to do is open it up and make sure also that I've got a measurement for the bottom section. So fold that in and then fold that in as well. So now I've got a nice score line that I can use my bone folder on. I just reach here. Oh, gonna grab. I'm going to reinforce those score lines that have already been created. And do the same on the other side. And then we've got the crease line just here. And then another one for the depth of the chocolate bar. There too. So now what I need to do is actually don't need this rectangular piece here. So I can cut in to and remove that little rectangular section. So I'll cut down here first. So it's like it's one in, so it's not the depth part. You can see the depth part, just to show you, is there. We don't need that. So I'm just going to cut and it won't matter if this isn't exactly precise. It's very forgiving. So you're going to end up with your piece like this, and what we need to do is just stick it in place. So I'm going to position my chocolate, and I need to put some glue on this piece. Be careful not to get glue on the chocolate. You want the chocolate to be able to slide out. So don't get glue on the chocolate. And then pop your one side over, and then you're going to put glue down one long edge. We've already got glue here, so I just need to add a little bit more glue here. And then I'm going to fold it over and create a really nice, firm, tight little rectangle for the patterned paper for the chocolate. So that's it. That's the little outer box done. Just press all your edges to make sure it holds it all nicely. And then we're going to, just for a second, remove the chocolate because I want you to punch a little hole about here. So we're going to do it centrally. It can be a round hole using a hole punch. It can be anything you want it to be using whatever tools you've got. I've got this lovely trio punch, which will work a treat. And so it's just punched a little hole there for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my ribbon, which I've got that coordinates really nicely with this paper. And we're going to feed it through front to back to front, doesn't make any difference. But you need a nice long piece, enough to tie a bow and enough to be longer than the chocolate bar itself. So let's just open that up a fraction. And get that in place there like that. And then when you slide, in fact I'm going to have a little bit more ribbon. It's harder to get more ribbon once it's all, you have to go down around the chocolate bar. So get enough ribbon, more than you think you need, because you're going to be tying a really pretty bow like that before you pop your chocolate bar in. And then pop your chocolate bar in and you'll see the ribbon goes down with the chocolate bar when you push it in. And now what you need to do is actually, I still don't think that's long enough, so let's get a bit more ribbon and let's try again. That should be enough. I'll give it a try. Now you're going to tie a lovely decadent bow, especially with this lovely thick ribbon. Oh, it's not quite long enough. I'm such a perfectionist. I'm sorry. It has to be right, and it doesn't take much to make it right. So, a bit more ribbon. Slide it back in. That didn't take long, did it? Still doesn't feel. Let's have a look and see if we can make this work. Okay. I think I can make it work. Just enough. Don't scrimp on your ribbon, people. So make a really pretty bow. And then using your best ribbon scissors, cut a lovely angled edge. A little tip is if you use a lighter and just very quickly scorch the edges of satin ribbon, it won't fray. And there is your lovely little box. Now that on its own would be beautiful and enough, but we're going to decorate it even further because I want to show you the Simply Zinnia stamps and dies. So I've pre-cut a bit of white and a bit of peach pie cardstock, and I'm going to use this greeting stamp here. So I've just got my black ink pad. Tap it, tap, tap. Don't rock your stamps. And go centrally on the bit of, should we go straight? I'm struggling because I can't put my head over too far and see if I've got it nice and straight. So I'm having to guess a little bit. Let's try again. That'll do. I have to tell you, if you look at any of my cards, you will see that I like wonky straight. I just can't seem to get things straight, perfectly straight anyway. So we're going to stick that down. Oh, that threw me for a second there because I thought I was going over the bit that I'd just done, but I wasn't. So I'm going to stick that centrally on my piece of peach pie. And now I'm going to assemble the Simply Zinnia die cuts. This bundle has an extra 10% off. It has 10% off already because it's a bundle, but it has another 10% off during the month of June, and that's available in my shop if you're interested. So I've used the 2 flowers, the little centre that I've done in Daffodil Delight. These have done in basic white. And then I've used the very centre in peach pie because I'm trying to bring all the colours in from the paper. So we need to just assemble these. So you've got 2 different shaped flowers, those ones and those ones. And what you need to do is just sort of layer them up and twist them and angle them until you're happy that they go over one another like that. So just make them look so they layer beautifully. Just going to add a little bit of Tombow in there and layer that up. So I don't even get white zinnias, so these aren't zinnias, these are more like Georgia. But I love that it can be any flower that you want it to be, and it doesn't have to be zinnias, because I wouldn't have zinnias in my garden. Don't love them particularly, they're a bit bright for me. So now we're going to stick the peach pie centre down in both of the flowers. And then we're going to stick the, I've just seen we've got a little bit of die cut left there. Let me just pop that out with my scissors. Yep, that one's okay. So a few little dots or specks of glue will make this stick down, no problem. So get that stuck in the centre. Now, if you wanted to, you could manipulate the petals a little bit to curl down or stand up. I'm not going to, because I don't want I don't want it to be too deep, so I don't want to make the flowers pop anymore. But you can using your bone folder. It's very simple. And then I cut 2 leaves using the what colour is that? Soft sea foam for the leaves. And I like having, so lay your flower on and think which end do you like for your leaf. So I like this end to be showing. So I'm just going to add a bit of glue at both ends of my leaves and just add, we're going to have that one coming out that way. Add that one like that. And then this is going to get stuck on the front of the chocolate bar, and I just need to decide where my flowers are going to go. I'm going to tuck one under and I'm going to have one on top. I just want to make sure, actually I quite like them both underneath. Don't know what you think. Yeah, I quite like that. I think that looks really nice actually. So let's gently move that out of the way and then just pop a bit of glue to stick that in place. And the beautiful thing about Tombow is I've got a little minute to move and manipulate them if I need to. If I need to just move it about. And then I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back here, and I'm going to stick it so that I'm not putting dimensionals right on the very edge. I've got one with a back stuck on it. Let's get rid of that one. Because that's where the flower is, and I don't want to create any more dimension than's already there. So I'm just getting my dimensionals to be in the center section, and then if I want to, I can add a little bit more Tombow on the edges, which will stick it down. So that's right. I can stick a little bit of Tombow there. And I've recently restarted my classes. I'm based in Thornton, which is relatively near Buckingham and Milton Keynes. And I've been crafting now for 16 plus years, longer in fact. And I've forgotten what it's like to be a beginner crafter. And so what I'm doing by running my classes and meeting lots of new crafters is I'm going back to basics and remembering the really simple things, such as this, just such a cute little gift. So when you pull the knot of the ribbon, so you give that to someone and they're like, wow, how do I open this? Just say, just pull the knot of the bow and out will pop the chocolate, which they can untie and pull it out. If they want to, they could just slide it out. And then pop it back in, and it's just such a lovely, pretty way to give a gift with actually not too many supplies and not too much time. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'd love it if you liked my video or followed me, and pop back and watch some of my other videos. Thanks so much. I'm here if you need anything. All right, bye-bye.